Hi everyone. In today's video, I just want to explain to you the process of a PhD examination. So what happens once you have completed your PhD and you have submitted your thesis for examination? What is normally the process? At least that is the process here in Australian universities. So once your PhD is completed and you submit your thesis for final examination, of course, at the you have to get approval from all your supervisors and get their signatures that the thesis is now ready for submission. The graduate research office will then ask the examiners and the head of school for recommendation regarding the names of the people the supervisors would like this thesis to be examined by. So the supervisors, in consultation with the head of school, will recommend a few names, and then it is up to the graduate research office to select two or three of the names and send the thesis to them for examination, subject to the examiner's availability and their readiness to mark the thesis. The examiners are, of course, selected on the basis of their expertise in the topic, their experience, their ability to mark the thesis, and of course that there should not be any conflict of interest with the supervisors, for example, or the candidate as well. So the thesis cannot go out to the candidate's relatives or friends or the any person who has any kind of interest with the supervisors. So that is normally the process. So it has to be very neutral supervisors who have no connection with either the school or the supervision team or with the candidate, of course. So once the examiners examine or they mark the thesis, the comments are sent back to the graduate research office. The graduate research office will then contact someone from the school to become the chair of examiners. So the chair of examiner then reviews the comments sent by the examiners and the grade recommended by the examiners, and then the chair of examiner will call the primary supervisor or the supervision team, sit down with them, go through the comments, and then decide on how much time should be allocated to the student to address that feedback, to address those comments, to revise the thesis. So it could be 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 1 month, depending on the extent of comments provided, the extent of corrections required rather provided. So once the supervision team and the chair of examiners decide on a time frame, that time frame is then provided to the candidate. The comments are provided to the candidate, and the candidate is asked to make those corrections within that stipulated time. Of course, sometimes in some cases the candidate is allowed a certain extension of time as well to ensure that the corrections are done to the standards expected, to the expectations of the chair of examiner. Once the candidate completes their corrections, they send the corrections back to the chair of examiner, and the chair of examiner will then appoint a committee, a committee comprising of the academic staff from the school who should not have any conflict of interest with the candidate or with the supervision team. It's normally from departments outside the candidate's department. And then the chair or the committee, together with the chair of examiners, will sit down, review the changes made by the candidate as per the examiner's comments, and if they are happy, they will of course recommend a pass grade, or they will recommend the candidate to be awarded the degree. They will also let the supervisor know if it is not up to the mark, it is not up to the expectations of the chair of examiners or the committee appointed, then they will call the supervision team again, inform them, and have a discussion on how to proceed from there, whether the candidate should be allowed more time or whether the graduate research office should be contacted and made aware of the progress regarding the candidate. So the candidate can then either be failed in certain circumstances where the thesis is not up to the mark, or the candidate can be allowed a certain extension of time, or the candidate may be asked to, which happens in very rare cases, to revise a thesis to either a master's level or completely cancel the candidature if the thesis is found to be very poor quality. So which happens very rare, but it does happen. It has happened to some candidates. Sometimes issues of plagiarism have come up and the candidates have not been rewarded the degree or the award. So I thought I should explain the process of examination of a PhD, so that for those of you who are still working on your PhD and you know that or maybe you are nearing the time of submission, then you are aware of the process. Please let me know if you have any comments, questions, or queries, or if the process is something very different in your country or your place of study. I'll be happy to know more about it. Thank you for watching today's video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and keep watching the channel for more videos on research studies. Thank you and bye.